Hi guys, and welcome back to the YouTube channel Reikizen. I have moved location because it was a bit too sagey downstairs and the windows are open upstairs, so it's letting a bit of the saginess out. So I will just get rid of that. And so today this is going to be another coffee chat, but this is going to be a coffee chat with me. Hello me. And I've actually got a cup of coffee for a change rather than water. So what I intended to do for this video was to go over some of the questions I've asked Claire and Genevieve and Anna Marie about their journey and what got them to the here and now, and I thought it would be good if I went through them questions as well for me. So here we go. I'll do the little introduction. So welcome to Reikizen, welcome to the channel, welcome to another coffee chat with myself and you guys watching, of course. I hope you enjoy it, I hope it's informative. And so I'm just going to introduce myself for those of you who don't know who I am. My name's Ian Robinson and I live in the northeast of England, and I'm a Reiki master teacher, and I've been attuned to Reiki since 2019. I was initially initiated to level 1 then, but my journey started quite a while before then, and yes, that's who I am. You can get hold of me via here. You can comment on here with regards to Reiki and the business, and if you want any tarot readings doing, or if you want any advice on crystals, on your spiritual journey, any of that sort of stuff, then comment away on here. You can also get hold of me on Instagram, which my username on there is Reikizen_Ian. I also have the website, which is reikizen.co.uk. I've also got the Facebook page, which is Reikizen, Reiki Meditation and Spirituality. I usually link most of them in the box below for the various websites that I use. And yeah, I have a Pinterest as well, but I don't really use that much, but that's about it. I also have a Telegram, which is Reikizen Ian. So yeah, if you want to hit me up, find me on there, ask me anything you want about your journey, about where you are, what you're doing, what you're thinking of current events, what you feel, developing your intuition, I want to know if you're empathic or all that sort of stuff, then hit me up, and yeah, but I'd love to try and help if I can. That's basically about me. So my first question to myself is, how did you start your journey? What brought you here and now? And this is a question that I asked Claire. Claire had quite a dramatic experience, and I explained a little bit of what happened with me with regards to my mental health issues and things like that, which you guys will already be aware of on the channel. But I usually talk about it at the start of, to describe my journey and my start of my awakening journey. But yeah, that brought me to the point where I was introduced to meditation. Meditation changed the ball game so much for me with regards to clarity of mind and my mental health, and basically my physical health as well. It took me to a whole new level, and it was quite a few years later. So that was probably when I started meditating, probably looking at maybe 2012, 2010, about maybe 2012, 2011, 2012, somewhere around about then. Before that, obviously I was going through various peaks and troughs with regards to the mental health, and for me now, I look at that as the initial point of hitting kind of ground zero and hitting rock bottom, and then realizing that there's only one way to go, and that is up. And a lot of people I find go through similar situations, whether it be of mental, emotional, physical aspect. Sometimes even spiritual journeys can take you like really, really low, because some awakenings can be quite horrific for a lot of people, especially people that have contacted me with regards to their awakening, that have had some serious issues and things going on, where they've got in touch with me just for some Reiki and for some support, and it's been lovely that I've been able to help them. But yeah, that kind of like brought me to there, and then, like I say, it was many years later that I discovered the meditation. So I've probably been meditating now for, was that probably 10 years-ish, maybe a little bit more, but I try to incorporate that every day if I can, within my routine, meditation and Reiki, and they usually piggyback each other. I usually do the meditation first and then the Reiki. Personally, I like to try and do it first thing in the morning, and that just sets my mindset for the rest of the day. And then I'll do, when I go to bed on a night, I will just lay my hands on my stomach and just intend for Reiki to flow there, and I will just give myself some Reiki on a night. It might only be 10-15 minutes, then usually I fall asleep. Although last night I had some other things going on which were in the ether, which I was aware of, and made me feel quite restless. But we'll come back to that another day. So that's what brought me to the here and now. And then obviously I discovered Reiki, and that just kind of like opened the taps. That really helped with everything on a spiritual level to develop, to enhance. I mean, and even from like a young child, I always remember when I was a young boy that I used to have really, really vivid dreams of just floating around the house and floating down the stairs and out the front door and round over rooftops, and these dreams were so vivid. And now it's made me come to realise that I was actually astral travelling. It wasn't a dream at all. It was me in like what everybody does on a night time when they go to sleep. They all leave their physical body and they go to do their spiritual work while the physical rests, because as energy beings we are constantly evolving, constantly developing, constantly under the threat of negativity and negative energy, which is why we also have to work on ourselves every single day, mind, body and spirit. And then obviously as the years went by, that kind of like, as it does with the indoctrination of people and the education sector, and getting people to sit in rows and listen to an authoritative figure and to get them in line for life, basically, and to not question anything really, and just be told that this is how it is. And in actual fact, when you come to grow up many years later, you realise that everything that you learned, or everything that you were told to learn, was actually just of no use whatsoever to, pretty much of no use whatsoever to everyday life, especially a life on a spiritual mindset. If your journey takes you down that road. So it's not a journey for everybody. Not everybody's ready, and we have to realise that, and we have to accept that some people may question it and belittle it and laugh at our journey, whereas many other people who are interested, they might understand that there is something else and this isn't just it, and that is usually the beginning of them starting to wake up to reality and step out of the matrix and into their own power. And that's what brought me to the here and now, and discovering the meditation and the Reiki, and then so many other tools along the way, the crystals, the shamanic tools, the sage, the incense, the Palo Santo, the singing bowls, the drums, like tarot cards, oracle cards, so many different tools that have helped me enhance and develop my intuition along the way, which is something that I'm going to start going through once again on the channel as well. And this is all to basically going back to basics, going back to the very beginning and starting again, and with you guys on board to learn. You know, if you are just starting out on your journey and wondering, where do I go and what do I do now? We're all at that point at one part in our lives, and doing these coffee chats has made me realise that so many of us, I mean, there's loads of mentors and people online now these days with spiritual life, but if I can help at least one person with a little bit of advice to make them realise, that they are their own guru, they are their own mentor, But yeah, we can look to other people for a little bit of guidance, a little bit of help along the way, and then we try things out ourselves and we see what we feel, we see what we experience, and just what we feel in that moment ourselves, and that levels us up to the next start of something else, something new. I mean, what I found with learning the meditation, I became very interested in crystals. I was very drawn to them, and I kept seeing information about crystals all over the place. Synchronicity bomb, and that is what will happen. You will get loads of little indications from the universe, from the spirit world that is around you every moment of every day, and they are giving you little messages, little whispers and indications of the path that you need to take. And crystals, wow, so powerful. Many people again laugh at crystals and laugh and think that they're just minerals, they're just stones from Mother Earth. But Mother Earth is a healer as well. Mother Earth has her own energy. We all vibrate at the same frequency as Mother Earth. We are nature, we are natural beings, as well as being spiritual beings. And you know, this energy, we resonate with it. So whenever you go for a walk into nature, whenever you take yourself away from the rat race, you feel so much better. And why is that? That's because you are in the place you need to be, that you're in your natural surroundings. And nature is the most powerful force, the most powerful healer, and the most powerful tool for grounding your energy. But again, grounding, nature, all this sort of stuff we will come into when I start the back to basics chats. So that was quite a long answer, wasn't it? But that's what brought me to the here and now. I hope that explains a little bit. So next question I had for Claire was about, obviously she does shamanic healing. I do use some shamanic tools, but what tools do I use within Reiki? So I use crystals, obviously. I use oracle cards, which are really good to give people at the end of a reading. So I always give an oracle card at the end of a reading, just to give that person a little bit of guidance that, my guides and their guides are working with them and giving them the answers that they need. People may laugh and just think, oh yeah, whatever, you're on cloud nine. It's just you, it's just potluck, it's coincidence. But we all know that in the spiritual world, there is no such thing as coincidence. Synchronicity is not a coincidence. So when we pull a card, when we see a card, we pull that card for a reason. And we use our intuition to pull out the reason for that person, for what they need at that time. There is always a meaning, there is always a reason. And you could probably say that for any card that you pull. But that's because there will always be a reason and an answer for that person to receive that message. Whether it be for today, whether it be for next week, whether it's for next year, whether it's for 6 years' time. They will have probably forgotten it by then, but that message is there. When we think of the universe and the spirit world, they don't operate on the same parameters that we do in the physical realm, in the 3D. They don't operate through time, through distance, through space. None of that exists. Everything is now and in the moment, which is why we always talk about being in the now and being in the moment, especially during meditation, and cutting away the chatter of the mind and coming true to source and listening, seeing, feeling, understanding and operating on that level is where the answers truly are for your soul, for your calling. And sometimes as healers, as psychics, whatever you want to call yourself, intuitive, sensitives, we can tap into that and we can give a little bit of help along the way. And if that helps somebody, great. Tools. So how did tarot enter your life? So that was a question to Claire. Was it an organic process or did it present itself another way? So Claire said that she'd always done tarot with her mother, so she's always used it, and I know she's really good at reading tarot. For me, again, it was another synchronicity that pulled out of the air, and I saw something in a magazine about tarot. My mother showed me something else in a magazine about tarot, so strike two, and I was just like, okay, universe, what are you trying to tell me? And then I saw something else about tarot, so 3 times a charm, and I was just like, okay, there's a message here. I need to look into tarot a little bit. So I did. I'm not the most ardent or seasoned of tarot readers, so I like to use oracle cards. Are really good because they usually have a book definition, but the more you use them, the more you do come in tune with them, the more they do resonate with you, and the more you see within the cards, especially cards like the Rider-Waite deck, which are really, really good for developing your mind's eye, developing your intuition, developing a good feeling of a message that you may have for somebody. And that's why I did quite a few free readings, probably back in the last year, just to get, because I hadn't used them that much, and just to get my eye, my heart, and my intuition back into reading the cards, and everyone was just like bang, 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 and I was amazed, I was blown away, and I was like, well, it's still there, it's always there. Once you've tuned in and once you've attuned to this frequency and this energy, it is always there. But obviously you have to bring yourself into that place. It doesn't just happen. Some people it does. Some people are just hardwired all the time, and then other times, yeah, even they need to work at it and get themselves into that place. So that's how tarot entered my life. It was very very much, it presented itself in a synchronistic way. What started my awakening process? I suppose the mental health really started my awakening process, just realizing that this can't be it. This cannot be the only way you can feel it. And to be honest with you, I actually thought everybody else felt the same as me. I didn't know that I had a mental health condition. I laugh now, like I didn't know. I just thought, well, everyone else must feel like this. And then more and more information started coming out because it became a bit more mainstream and people were actually speaking about mental health. And I was like, that's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. Does that mean I've got something? And and it wasn't until I went to see the doctor and had to have like loads of questions thrown at me, and the higher you score, the more chances you do have something going on. As ironic as that sounds, the higher the score, yeah, the more relevant it is, and more chance you have of having something. So that started it for me, really, and then things really started to unfold. With hearing things, seeing things, experiencing things, the TVs turning themselves on and off, constantly waking up between 3 and 5, which is a lot you will know is the hours that most people, when they're going through the early stages of an awakening, and even now people still go through this thing where they just don't sleep. This 3 and 5 thing is said to be the best time for spirit to try and connect to you through dreams or through various means, really. That was always a big thing, and I was always awake at like 4 o'clock, couldn't get back to sleep, always felt restless, anxious, didn't know what was going on, and again, this is all part of this whole process that we go through. And to be honest with you, where I am now, I wouldn't have changed it for anything. I'm so glad that I have woken up and I am not a lab rat. Like, there is so many people out there that that just want to comply, I suppose. But as we can see, this awakening process is unfolding on massive levels across the planet, and it is something that has to happen. It's the next evolutionary stage of consciousness, as Eckhart Tolle says many times. It has to happen. You can only keep people suppressed and dumbed down for so long before people say enough is enough. We are free. We are sovereign beings, and we have the right to decide what we want to do and what we want within our body, what we want to experience on a daily basis. And that's why you see across America or across the world, so many people are just leaving the jobs. So many people are becoming self-employed. So many people are going to live in communes because enough is enough. They're going back to the days of old where people lived in fields, they lived in nature, they lived quite solitary lives. And you know, it's almost going back to the way Wiccans lived. You know, living with nature, using herbs, using plants, using fruit, using vegetables. Everything that Mother Earth produces for you has a solution to your illness. So, and everything that you eat, everything that you consume, when we talk about energy, it all has an energy, it all has a frequency, and it all has a vibration that works with your physical body. And that is what so many people don't seem to understand. They don't seem to get that everything in life that you come into contact with has a vibration, it has a frequency, it has an energy, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same thing. And you know, it all has elements to help your mind, body and spirit. Simple. You know, and when we come into contact with other people that are on a higher vibration, such as healers, Wiccans, Reiki people, Reiki healers, shamanic healers, psychics, mediums, whatever their gift is to humanity, they all vibrate at a higher frequency. So when you become near them, as an energetic being that you are, you connect with their vibration. This is why we have to work on our vibration so much, because if we come into contact with people that are of a low frequency, of a low vibration, they're what we call energy vampires sometimes. They feed on our energy to bring them back up, but that brings our energy down. So we have to constantly calibrate our frequency and our energy. And this is why a lot of people are stepping away from the mainstream and saying, no, enough is enough, because it's affecting my energy. And they are looking into new ways, not the pharmaceutical industry, they're looking into new ways of looking after themselves, mind, body and spirit, and finding that wholeness from within, because it is there for every single person and it is free. And that's the whole reason that the system doesn't want you to find these things or step out of the matrix, because it is free and you're not paying into it, you know. And they're really shitting they are really shitting themselves, and the wheels are coming off this tram. They really are coming off now. And I said last year, 2022, you watch, 2022, bang, by the end of February, things are changing, but don't step off the pedal. We cannot step off the pedal. We must keep pushing, push for more, but keep working on your energy. If you need to take days out, you take days out, and then you come back stronger than ever before. That was a long answer as well, wasn't it? What's your thought on spirit guides? Oh, I've done a few videos on spirit guides. My views on spirit guides is similar to Claire's. You know, these people, these energy beings are always around us, and they connect to us through our heart, through our intuition. And sometimes they connect in other ways. You can see them. So I've sometimes seen mine and heard them and give me messages. But yeah, they connect on a really deep level, and you know when they're around, because when you start to tune into their energy, you know their frequency, you know what they feel like. So for me, when my guides are near, I get high pitched frequency. I also get that when spirits near in my ears. I also feel very energized. I feel like there's electricity all around me. I feel like my body is tingling, and I'll have patches of tingling all around me. So I know when they're near then. If I'm speaking or giving information or talking to someone and I'm pretty bang on the money, then I usually feel them really, really close, and they send those shivers up my spine because they come in really, really close. But it's not like sometimes you can go in places and think, oh, I don't like the feeling of this. This is a really kind of it's quite a nice feeling. So yeah, but that's kind of, you know, that they are people. Spirit guides tend to be people who have walked the earth and lived a physical life. They can all, I mean, there's various different types, but they all, and for me, they all come into the same bracket. You can have ascended masters, you can have your spirit guides, you can have ancestors, which are obviously from your life, from your lineage, and then obviously above them you have the angelic energy. But yeah, spirit guides for me are, they're always around, they're always there, and you will probably have one from a past life, which is something obviously we're going to talk about with Claire Thackeray on the 7th of Feb, I do believe. We're doing a talk about past lives. And yeah, so one of my guides that three of my guides that I'm in regular contact with, two of them are animals. So there's a wolf and an eagle, which is obviously very, very Native American. And lo and behold, the other guide is a female Native American, and she's Hyokan. And she connected to me through putting this word in my head, and it was a constant word, Hyoka, Hyoka, Hyoka. I had never ever heard the word before, had no recollection with it whatsoever. And then, so I just sat and I asked her, I said, look, if this is you trying to connect to me, and this was after my level 1 attunement to Reiki, I said, if this is you trying to connect with me, can you bring it into 3D so I can understand what this means? And I asked this out loud. I was on my own. I wasn't with anyone. I was on my own. And the next day, I put on my YouTube feed, and a lot of you'll know this story already. Put on my YouTube feed, and the first video to come up at the top of the feed, it says, "Are you Hyoka?" Synchronicity alert! Bing bong! So I was just like, okay, thank you, much gratitude. Watched the video, and it was on a channel called Slightly Better. I love that channel, really, really good spiritual videos as well. And yeah, so that's how I discovered her. And then another word popped in. I thought, oh, here we go again, and it was her name. And then I asked her, so are you Hyoka, and is this your name? And then I got this tingling feeling all over, and then it was like she just moved right through me, and I just had this feeling of overwhelming love and bliss. And yeah, it was just like she was there, and I just felt this presence all around me. The room just seemed to be so much brighter. The colours in the room were just like amazing. I just felt so comforted to know that she was there, and that's how I connected with her. You know, and if you're on this journey and want to connect to your guides, they probably already are. You probably don't have much, you might not have much knowledge of them, but they will be already working with you. You'll probably feel them around you every single day. They'll be giving you messages that you don't even know are messages from them, because they don't communicate in a 3D word, in a 3D way. They communicate in frequency. And that's how they work. So it's again, it's about this tuning in process, which is something else that I will be going through when we do the back to basics videos. So yeah, what do you have planned for this year and beyond? That was my last question to Claire. For this year, so currently I am looking into hiring a space, because I can't really do contact Reiki here because of the dogs being quite loud and boisterous and bouncy, and don't really have the space for it. So I've been in communication with somewhere that does hire spaces out. So I am looking into do contact Reiki for anyone that may be interested in coming to see me. Obviously there's the Reiki channel on here, which I'm constantly doing work with. There is the obviously the website, which was, you know, that was a project for this year. It got pretty much finalized in January, so there's, you know, again, another video that I made last year, you know, about this year. It's going to be a lot of challenges and a lot of changes and a lot of shift ups, and it's happening. It's here. It's now. It's going on, and I think a lot of people will be aware of it. What else has been going on for the year ahead? It's obviously developing the Reiki business, doing a little bit of manifestation, which is something I will go into as well with the back to basics videos about how we can manifest and using what terms we should use and how to say things to manifest what we want. And then yeah, that's pretty much it really. Getting more Reiki clients, developing the business, building the business, doing more hands-on, getting back in tune with that, wanting to do more coffee chats with other people around the world. Yeah, I mean, there is going to be quite a lot going on, and it's just about balance. It's about balancing my time and, you know, don't be overwhelming myself, and just, you know, just allowing my guides to step in when they need to, just to help me, you know, back off a little bit, or take a day off, which I did yesterday, or you know, you need to do this, you need to do that, and little ideas, little thoughts pop in, and then act on them, you know, rather than procrastinating and thinking about them too much, just acting on them. And this is also a part of the manifestation process. You know, you can manifest it and you can sit there for years on end, and until you put some focus and some drive into it, nothing's going to happen. So yeah, I'm also drawn to writing a book, which is something I've been, you know, for the last probably year and a half, and I have pondered about it. Yeah, so maybe we'll see. What are the questions? So I've gone. That was the last one for Claire. So what have we got here? So these questions were for Genevieve. So one of them here: how has Reiki helped you, as well as your other forms of healing and spiritual tools? So obviously Reiki, my crystals, my cleansing tools, my Palo Santo, my sage, crystals that I wear every day, you know, and the Reiki work and the meditation. It just keeps me present. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me in the moment. It keeps me feeling powerful, and it helps me realize that, you know, I am my own power. I am my own spiritual being. I am my own boss. I am my own divine. What words can we use? You know, I am my own everything. I am, you know, I am everything. You know, if we, you know, you think about I am, you know, think about who you actually are. You know, take away the name, take away the physical, take away any aspects that have been pinned to you about what makes you who you are. You know, take away all that physical stuff that's been put on you by the matrix, by the 3D world. And who are you? You know, I am. You are who you are right now, but on a deeper level, you are so much more than what the system tells you are, than the employee number that you've got, the number that you've got on your pay slip, on your mortgage, on your bills, all of that. You are so much more than that. And that is just the illusion to keep you tied into that way of thinking. You are so much more than that, and that is how, you know, this meditation and Reiki is so powerful, and it does make you realize that you can be whoever you want to be, you know, and you don't need to have meditation and Reiki for that. You know, you wake up. It's the awakening process. You wake up and you see so much more, and you realize so much more. So yeah, that's what helps me, and again, Reiki has helped me on a spiritual level, it's helped me on an emotional level, it's helped me on a mental level, it's helped me on the physical level. The crystals help me enhance the energy of Reiki to really tune in to the parts of my body I need to work on, so if it might be my third eye, it might be my root chakra, it might be my crown chakra, I might need to remove negativity from a chakra or from an area of a body, all these little tools that we use, the sage, the palo santo, the crystals, the intention is the most powerful form of healing. If you intend and you say for long enough and you sit and you work on that energy day in, day out, weeks at an end, and loads of people will just tune off now and just go like, weeks? I don't have weeks. I want results now. That isn't like true healing. That isn't true healing. That is covering up problems, not exposing them, not seeing your shadow. You are hiding behind the ego, and your shadow hides behind your ego, and it's exposing root causes, root problems. And that's another thing that this awakening, the meditation, this spiritual life helps you see so much more and realize that emotions, your mental attitude, all affect every aspect of you in the physical world. And that's what Reiki's helped me with, very much so, especially with the crystals and the other tools that I use. Self-healing habits every day. You got to self-heal every day. So whether you meditate every day, you meditate twice a day, 4 times a day, if you're into Reiki or other forms of healing, using that every day at some point in your day. Even if you can fit in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it doesn't have to be a full hour. 20 minutes twice a day, 10 minutes 4 times a day, whatever you can do for your healing path. Even if all you can achieve that day is saging your home, saging a room, saging around yourself, you're still working on your energy and you're getting rid of all that crap that builds up in your energetic field, and leveling up your energy. That's what it's all about. Every single day, self-healing habits. And when you become attuned to this energy and this way of life and this way of living, then it becomes a must, because when you don't do it for a few days, you feel like absolute shit, and that's why we do it. We don't want to feel like that. We're here to help other people as best as we can, and I'm not saying that healers are perfect. Healers are not perfect. Healers have been to hell and back. Healers have seen the bottom of the pit and worked on themselves every single day to better themselves, and we're all still doing it now. We will never be perfectly healed in this physical world because of the way the world is geared, but helping people to see that and awaken to people to that aspect will help, and it will awaken people, and it will help people realize that this mental, emotional attitude in life that is kind of drummed into us day in, day out, you need to step away from that. Step away from the TV, step away from the news, step away from the radio, step away from the propaganda machine, step away from the brainwashing, because that's all it is. You're being brainwashed and programmed every single day of your life. And as soon as you step away from that and you don't watch any or listen to any of that for a week at least, you will feel so much better for it, because again, that is an energy and it is programming your energy. So again, that's another part of my self-healing. I don't watch the news, I don't listen to the news, I don't give it the power that it needs to operate. And look what's happening. The wheels are falling off the tram, as I said before, because people aren't giving it the power. They're not falling for it anymore. They're not falling for the BS that is coming out of people's screens. People are looking for truth. And that's why a lot of people turn to spirituality, because the truth is deep within you. Your intuition will tell you everything. If this sounds like a crock of shit, it probably is a crock of shit. That was another long answer, wasn't it? My go-to crystals, that's my next question. Oh, I have quite a few. Amethyst is a big go-to. Obsidian is a big go-to. Moldavite, I wear Moldavite every day, is another big go-to. Citrine is another very, very powerful crystal alongside Moldavite, really, really good for healers. Tektite, another really, really good crystal for healers. They absorb negative energy, so if you're around a lot of negative people day in, day out, especially if you're in busy negative workplaces, wear a tektite every day, carry it in your pocket, put it on a chain around your neck like I do. Lava stone, I've got a lava stone mala. That's always around my neck now, keeps me grounded, keeps me focused, keeps me healing in that grounding energy. Yeah, I've got loads of different crystals that I love. But yeah, they're probably my first go-tos. Labradorite, it's another great one. I've got a piece there. Yeah, labradorite, really good for the third eye, really good for your intuition. Angelite, that's another great one. I usually use that on my healing sessions, on my distance Reiki. Angelite, bringing the power of the angels, open your throat chakra, see you for the power that you are. Blue lace agate, love that one. Another one, great crystal. Lapis lazuli was used by Egyptians, because it gave them the sight, it gave them the intuition, it gave them the foresight, it gave them the clarity of mind. The Egyptians, all these old traditions, all these old cultures, all these people that have kind of like been forgotten, eradicated. The Wiccans, all those witches that got burned, that were just the people that worked with the earth, worked with nature, all gone. And why? People didn't fear the people that burned them. They feared the people that were being burned, and that was because of the level of consciousness at that time, and because of the level of belief that had been drilled into people. Look what's happening now. It's exactly the same. As an advocate for self-healing and your own space, what's your favorite ways to recharge from working in high dimensional energy? That's a really good question. So for me, just taking time away, taking time off, having a couple of days away, just doing things that I like to do: music, art, meditation, self-healing, working with smokes, Palo Santo, sage, all that sort of stuff, all these shamanic tools, working with crystals, getting good sleep, walking in nature, just getting out, even just getting out for a walk, getting in some fresh air, opening the windows around the home, let some good energy in. If you're using your sage, let the bad energy out and open your windows. Sitting with the dogs, patting the dogs, really grounding, really good for your energy. Dogs are really good energetic beings, and they know when you're feeling low, and that they come and sit on you for a reason, because they can feel that you're of a low vibration, and they are such present spiritual beings that they can help you feel so much better in a short space of time. Salt baths, using essential oils, yeah, all that sort of stuff. Cool baths, cool showers, hot baths, hot showers, music, listening to music, singing, playing my guitar, yeah, all that sort of stuff is really, really good for working on my energy and just bringing me back into the 3D world and grounding me really, and helping me build up my energy for the next person. Does your day-to-day job impact on you and your Reiki business? How do you balance the time between them to focus on your own healing? So that was a question for Genevieve, but then I found out she didn't work anymore. So much gratitude and well done to her, kudos to her. So yeah, it does sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I don't have the time available to spend to do the healing, which is part of the manifestation that's going on at the minute to come out of that matrix. So yeah, it lowers my vibration working, I know when I have a week off, by the end of the week, I am seeing, feeling and experiencing so much more than I do when I'm in a working week. So that tells you everything, that, you know, it is a negative place. And even though I do wear my crystals day in, day out, it still has an effect. So yeah, but I mean, imagine what I would be like if I wasn't of that mindset and I didn't use these tools day in, day out. Imagine what the effect they would have on me then. So yeah, so it does have an effect. How do I balance the time? Basically, I have to just fit people in hopefully when it's good for them, and when it's good for me. I know most people prefer to have me do their Reiki when it's live, so I'm doing it at the same time as them laid down, having their session. Whether that's a psychological thing, I don't know, but it works either way. It works as a, you know, if I do it today for a Friday, it works exactly the same. It does the same thing. It's intention goes out there and it is delivered at that time. But maybe it's a psychological thing on other people's part that they can't seem to get, that it's there, it's always around them. All they have to do is tune in and tap into it. So yeah, and then obviously using the time when I'm not doing client work, when I'm not at work, when I do have time to focus on my own healing, then that's when I do a lot of the meditation, the Reiki, the self-healing Reiki, which I try to make a practice every single day if I can. If I miss a day, fine. There's no point beating yourself up over it. If you don't get chance, you don't get chance. We are busy. And, you know, people that have their own businesses, you know, much kudos to them as well, that they can do it all week to help people, you know, because it can be very, very tiring. You know, it does take up a lot of your energy. I mean, even though I work a part-time job, you know, I never really have, apart from yesterday where I didn't really do any work whatsoever to do with Reiki or anything else. It can be draining. It can take its toll on you. So you have to look after yourself. You have to take yourself first. Self-care is everything. And as I always say, if you don't look after yourself and you don't keep yourself powerful, how can you help others? Because you're in a weakened state, you're in a weakened place, your energy is weakened, so you need to focus on you first. You are priority, and I say that in a lot of my videos. You are number one. And that's what a lot of people don't think. Oh no, it's selfish. It's selfish just thinking of yourself. Well, no, it's not. It's not when you're there to help others, or when you're working on a business which can bring people joy and bring people happiness and help build up their energy and build up their way of life, their self-care, how they can look after themselves in alternative ways. It's not selfish whatsoever, because you need that energy. You need that focus, you need that drive, that intention, and that way of being for you, to keep going. Really important. Been on 48 minutes, a long video this one. I hope you don't mind the long videos. These are questions from Anna Marie's, but I think a lot of the questions were pretty much the same. Keeping grounded, that's a good one. That's going to come up in the basics when we do the back to basics video about keeping grounded. But keeping grounded is probably one of the most important videos. One of the most important things that you can do for your own energy is keeping grounded. And a lot of the techniques that we use to raise our vibration and use to step away from the rat race and just focus on ourselves is, we are grounding, we are looking after our own energy. And you know, so this singing, this doing what we love, this going out into nature, walking, painting, music, playing guitar, singing, whatever you enjoy to do, whatever brings you happiness and joy within that day, is working on you, it's working on your energy, and it's working on your grounding. And keeping grounded, especially when you're working in high frequency energy and working in different dimensions of energy, is really, really important as well, because there can be a lot of negative forces out there, should we say, that do try to hijack these things. So this is why we have to work on ourselves, work on our environments, work on our homes, work on our rooms, keeping the energy high, keeping the energy clear and cleansed and clean of any sort of negativity, negative thoughts, negative emotions. You know, a lot of people in the 3D realm will walk through everyday life without any aspect or thought that they might have an attachment. They might have something connected to them which is from, you know, it could be hereditary, it could be from lifetimes ago, it could be from something from within this life that they are holding on to, some sort of trauma, grief, guilt, worry, fear, anything like that. And you know, these things that attach to people, they manifest, and it brings people into that that frame of mind, that frame of thought. And it's all, like I say, it's all part of this manifestation process. If you're in the same frequency of guilt, worry, fear, shame, all that sort of stuff, then you will attract what you feel, what you think. And that's why when we work with such high vibrational frequencies, you know, we always say as light workers that we are like lighthouses, we are light. As soon as you light up, the dark doesn't like it. The dark can be exposed, it can be seen, it can be shown. But yeah, sometimes it can creep in. But a lot of the time, you know, they will try and pull the rug over it, I suppose, to try and dim your light. And that's why you need to work on that every single day. And grounding is really, really good for that. Sitting in nature, going into nature, sitting by a tree, sitting by a river, closing your eyes, just listening to the water, listening to the sound of the trees rustling in the wind, anything of that nature will help your energy, will help your energy levels, will help your mind, body and spirit. So yeah, I mean, if you want to go on to a path of healing and you're already doing this, then maybe you need to look into going deeper on your journey and go down, you know, getting attuned to some form of healing, or learn a little bit more about how to work on energy, work on your energy, work on other people's energies. Again, this is something that will come up in the Back to Basics videos that I'm planning on doing, just about working with your own energy and grounding and looking after yourself. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I've just sort of gone over a few of the questions from the last few videos. I thought I'd spend a little bit of time with you guys because I love making these videos for you, and I love hearing the comments and getting the feedback, and you know, just to know that I've helped in some way for someone to, you know, that may be on a similar journey that might not right now have the answers. And sometimes these videos might just make people think and make people realize, okay, maybe I'll give that a try. And if that little switch of making people think, there must be something in that because my friend such and such started using this, or my friend such and such has got like loads of crystals and she swears by them and she's always wearing them and she's always glowing, she looks fantastic. There must be something in it. And you know, just flipping that switch and making people think, actually I want to give that a go. I don't care what people think. I don't care what people might want to label me as. You know, label me as whatever you want. I am me. I am myself. I am my own powerful, sovereign, spiritual being. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And you know, you just got to find your own way, regardless of what people think, say, do. Find your own way. Find what works for you. Be your own guru. Be the spiritual warrior that you are. Shine your light, shine it bright, keep yourself grounded, work on your energy every single day. That is my message to you now at the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed this Q&A, this coffee chat with myself. And like I say, the next coffee chat I think will be with Claire Thackeray on the 7th of Feb. So I look forward to talking to her again. There'll be some more videos between then and now, so don't worry, you will see this lovely face once again. Yeah, until then, much love to you all. Thank you for staying. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, getting in touch. It really does mean the world to me. Thank you so much. Namaste. Much love to you all. Bye for now.